So back in the day, I worked at this movie theater with my best friend, Joey Wright, and we would do these ridiculous pranks. And just to kind of give you a sense of where I was in life in the story, I thought I'd tell you like one or two of those pranks and then get to the story. So we worked in this independent movie theater that was run by this guy named Eddie, and Eddie's management style was he sat in the back office, sat in his chair, and he would just watch pornography on mute on his laptop all day long. As long as you didn't interrupt him, you were fine. So that's about as much management as two teenagers had in this movie theater. So we would do all these ridiculous things. We would sneak in the projection booth, and we'd open the window, and we'd throw popcorn at people, and they would think that it was coming from the people behind them. We caused all these fights. It was great. You know, it was a great time. We'd make all these noises about these teenagers kind of exploring themselves, in the movie theater. We'd try to throw water balloons at them, and no one would care. It was ridiculous. And then actually on his last day, I happened to be a cheerleader at the time on varsity. Go Hawks. And I came in fully in my leotard, fully in my outfit, my cheerleading outfit with my megaphone. Legally Blonde was playing, and I ran up the stairs in the middle of the movie and did a special cheer for Joey. So people were yelling and screaming. It was not good. But anyway, so that's the kind of person that I was back then. So it was before Joey and I were killing some time before the movie theater. We went to Walmart, which is a place that we would hang out and kind of do stuff. So we were walking around. We went and got a magazine, sat down in the outdoor food furniture section, chilled for a little bit, and then we would play this Super Bowl kind of game where we'd go to the toy aisle, we'd get the Super Bowls, and we'd throw them over the aisle, and then you'd wait, and then you'd hear like, or you'd hear like a scream or something like that. It was a great game. So we're doing that kind of stuff. We're walking through, and I'm walking in the aisle. It's just him and I, and we walk by this woman who has this stroller and her little 5-year-old daughter. And we're walking, and we're kind of messing around. And I look in the stroller, and I'm like, oh, wow, they make them so lifelike these days. And we just kind of like have a little laugh, and we walk on. And then, so we're doing something else. We get out of the aisle to go to the movie theater. And then all of a sudden, like, this woman, like, grabs my arm, and she's like, I got him. And I'm like, what is happening? And she's like, you punched my baby. I'm like, what? And she's like, you hit my baby. I was like, I did not hit your baby. And then she starts yelling, security, security. So I like whip my arm away from her, and I'm like, Joey, we gotta go. So we go out, we leave, we pop in his like weird 80s 8 van, and we go down the block where the movie theater is, and we're just laughing hysterically. We just think it's the funniest thing that this has ever happened. So we go to work. I'm at the concession stand and serving popcorn and things, and then this cop comes over and to the concession stand, and he like walks over, and I'm like, what would you like? And he like stops, and he like puts his hand like right like in front of my like this, and he looks at the window where the main entrance is, and I can see the woman, and she's standing there, and she's like, and he's like, you with me. I'm like, ah. So he goes up, and then Eddie like peers out of his window like from the manager's office, and he's like, he comes over, and he starts saying, what's going on? And the officer said, oh, your employee here assaulted a minor. And he's like, no, not Josh, he would never do that. And I'm thinking like, thank you, Eddie, like, yes, like I'm saved. And then the officer's like, well, we have a witness. And he's like, oh, well, then just take him. Okay, then. So we go out, we go outside in front of the movie theater, not in some private area, but literally in front of the main entrance of the cinema. And the cop starts interrogating me and saying, what did you do? How did you do it? Why did you hit the baby? Were you upset? Did you think this was a game? I was like, no, officer, why would anyone hit a baby? That's crazy. I would never do that. And at the time, we're behind the Subway, which is where Joey and I have lunch all the time. And all of a sudden, the door like flies open, and it's Raphael, the manager that works at Subway, who we love. And it turns out he's upset because he is married to the woman whose child I have now punched. And he is this big, burly, like really scary man. And so he's running up, and he's like, "You hit my baby! You hit my baby!" And then the cop is like, now I love Orlando police in Orlando. And so the cop's like blocking him. I'm like, I didn't. And then all of a sudden, one of the police officers who was interrogating this little 5-year-old girl comes over and says, actually, he didn't hit the baby. What happened was the 5-year-old had woken up the baby, and the mother had yelled at the 5-year-old, and the 5-year-old had pointed to Joey and I walking down the aisle and said they did it, and pointed to us, and that's what happened. So this is why I don't trust like small 5-year-old little girls. Because also in every horror movie, they're the ones who are really cute and then slit your throat. Like in the movie, they're the ones who are always possessed. It's always the little girl. Like it's always them. So anyway, I love Orlando because of the police department. They let me go that time, and that was awesome. So thank you.